What's going on, everybody? Last week I reviewed Melbourne versus Port Adelaide, and I'm adamant that I'm as quick as Tom McDonald. Ironically enough, Tom McDonald has been dropped for the biggest game of the year for Melbourne against Adelaide. He's been dropped. So, coincidence or not? Either way, it's time for me to prove that I'm as quick as Tom McDonald. We're in lockdown. I can't go to the running track. I've got to do this test in the backyard. Let's go. Heartbeat's true.
Here we go, everybody. The Tom McDonald speed comparison test. Big Cuz takes position, preparing himself, and we are off. Here comes Big Cuz, and the comparison test is done. We check the replay. How quick was he? Was he as quick?
I told you I'd be as quick as him. How'd it look? Got no stopwatches or anything to work for this. But I'll tell you what, how'd I look? Tonight, Melbourne plays Adelaide. I'm going to review the game tomorrow on the DeeDay, and either Goodwin's got a job tomorrow or not. I'll see you then.
So the results are in. This was a big game for both clubs. Adelaide had a chance to prevent a 10-game losing streak, and Melbourne, Goodwin's job was potentially on the line again. But we got the job done, and it's going to be mainly positive from the highlights. Tom McDonald was dropped, but Jack Viney in the first quarter was unstoppable. And our prized possession draft pick from last year, Jackson, kicking the first goal. Adelaide were ferocious, but a ferocious sling tackle just disabled this young kid. Absolutely disabled him. Holy fuck, mate. There's a point where you just need to protect yourself and don't worry about getting the ball. And you go, you know what? If I try to kick the ball, I might die. This big-head Fritsch snapping around corners. Ball inside the square. And it is the hot man, Jack Viney, as Dumb and Dumber bump heads. And Viney, the smallest one, Meeny Miny Mo, has kicked a goal. How you feeling, buddy? How's your head? Old fuck Jones bombs it in, and I tell you what, I liked Wiedemann's game. He was on an 18-year-old, but McCasey, but I don't mind Wiedemann's game. I mean, at the end of the day, he's kicking 2 goals a game. I think he got 3 goals this game. If you have 3 disposals, 3 goals, you've done your job. His job's to kick goals. He's kicking goals. Pushing forward here, Adelaide. Ball's contested, and they've called a throw. Obviously not pushing forward here. Melksham's got him in the forward line for holding the ball on the siren. But only in Melbourne fashion can we have a free kick in front of goal on the siren reversed. Seedsman is just like your typical local footballer that's not that good but pops up with exquisite skills. Here we have Big Ed Fritsch bombing the ball into the forward line. And who is on? Is this? Yep, Wieders. Having a great game, Wieders. Melbourne have most of the control of the game, but Himmelberg. What a player he looks. 22 years old for Adelaide. Where's he been? He's surely been just injured. Puts Stephen May under duress, and Stephen May's just taken out of bounds. And get out of here, mate. Bring your lunchbox if you're going to bring a fucking meal to Stephen May, mate, because he's going to eat you alive. Shut up. Yeah, very fiery game this was early on. It was the battle of inefficiencies. Both teams kicking under 45% kicking efficiency. Clayton Oliver had an absolute clinic of a game. And there's that absolute pipsqueak Seedsman. Absolute. Yeah, he kicks that goal. Second quarter still, only a goal of difference. And Taylor Walker's just had his bell rung by Harms. He got in harm's way. And, had the bell rung. Third quarter, May had a really, really good, solid performance here after being nutmegged last week, and hits it to Fritsch. And you know what Benell's saying? You know what, brother? I'm going to snap this one right through the hay diddle fiddle, and look at that. And that's what you want Benell for. Put the absolute ball through the goals. Harms dumped, pile-drived. That move's even banned in the WWE now. Brayshaw's just tackled the bloke. He can't even tell with his helmet on whether he's got the ball or not. And Levers should have almost been done holding the ball. So there's a bit going on there. Melbourne have a 13-point lead. Jones with a dinky hand pass, and Brayshaw again doesn't know the guy's got the ball yet, but does really, really well to get the ball out himself. And I think Petrarca, this is the first time I've seen him caught holding the ball this year. And the guy just tried to put him down, and he held his hand and stood up with him. Handshake. Mate, absolutely, mate. Stephen May's been hip and shouldered. Take it out. I love Stephen May, but you know what? He just gets up. He's like the Terminator. You can't put him down for long. Clayton's had at least 45 disposals in this game, guys, and I know his kicking for the most part of this year has been shit house, but he had a lot of the footy this game, and against Adelaide, his kicking wasn't as bad. And there's Weeders again, and Weeders this is the game that we needed from Weeders, and with Tom McDonald out, he might not come straight back in. Here we go here. Himmelberg's got to go. Lever held his ground. Hibbard beaten, and then I think Crocker has just been the beneficiary of a bounce there. Well done, mate. Even a dead clock's right twice a day. Ball coming into the forward line for the D's, and the big fella Weeders had a nice fly, and Melksham's just really, really junking up the last quarter. Melksham really got let loose in the last quarter, and he had a really good game in the end. Viney probably best on in the first quarter, but faded. Kicks a goal late in the last. My best players would be Clayton Oliver, Jack Viney, and probably Stephen May. I thought Stephen May had a pretty good game. Brayshaw started to junk it up in the last quarter as well. I thought Gawn struggled. I thought he came into the game underdone. But I thought, like any good player, he managed to do a goodish game. And did all right. Riley O'Brien, the ruckman for Adelaide, has a bit of promise. But overall, we needed to win this game. Goodwin saves his job.